Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So we're now into January and the oats are pretty much at the highest price. Very similar to the price we was getting in December, so probably not benefiting much by waiting until January, but we'll get them loaded up and get them up to the sell everything container and get them sold. We then need to switch over the auger to the second grain silo or bin so we can then get some sorghum out to feed the chickens, as their feed trough is pretty much all out. And I'll just actually turn the John Deere off. Yeah, the chickens are almost out of feed. We are up to 375 chickens in that pen now, and unfortunately the 1,000 litre feed trough is barely lasting any amount of time at all. So yeah, I really need to go in the XML file and just adjust that slightly. Right, so this will be our first crop we'll have sold here on Dark Forest. I'm not going to bother selling the last couple of 1,000 litres. I don't think it'll be worth driving all the way down with a partially filled gravity wagon, so we'll just stick to the full load. If we had another like 3/4 of a gravity wagon, I'd bring it, but there's barely going to be anything, so it's not really worth the trip. It's going to be close to 45 or just above 44. Another 1,200 to go. 600 left, so yeah, 45, 300-ish. $45, $335 we're up to. So 7,100 exactly for the oats. Actually, it's not too bad considering it's not a huge field. So yeah, we'll get back, and I think the next job will be to switch over the auger so we can get the sorghum out. Okay, so let's get this auger switched over, which is not easy to do. Just get that switched off so it's out the way. And what I might actually try and do, if we get this out the way, is push it over with the wheel loader. Might not be the best way to do it. It's a bit awkward because you have to tow it from this end. It's difficult to get it in position properly. So what I had to do last time was unfold it and then get it somewhere as close as I could and then just push it over with the wheel loader with the forks on. Once we've got a bit more money, we can upgrade it to one of the new ones, which don't need the tractor on the side either, and you can actually get inside to drive them around. Almost like you're pushing them by hand, which you don't have the option to do that on this one. I say not the best way to do this, but it should work at least. Didn't quite push it the way I wanted it to. Hoping it'd just go straight over. Well, that should do. That's close enough anyway. Right, so if we get the John Deere back on, which as I said last time, it's in desperate need for repair. So one thing we will do probably after this is get the toolbox put down. Right, so let's get this filled up with sorghum, so then we can top up the chickens' feed. And I'm going to leave the gravity wagon by the chickens, and then every now and then we can just go over and top up the feed. The rate they're getting through feed, I'm not sure if we'll get through the next few months before the barley's ready to harvest. So yeah, I'm not sure how much this 11,000 litres will actually last. So we may get to a point, if we are running really low, that we may just have to bite the bullet and buy a couple of bags of chicken feed from the store. So we'll get this one topped up. Right, that's the chickens topped up, so I'll get that hooked off. I'm going to leave that there. I say every now and then I can just come over then with one of the tractors, connect it up, and then just unload and top up the trough. There was a new mod that was released, grain hopper, which does actually work on the feed trigger if you fill it up with grain and put it in the feed trigger. So it would kind of give an extra 1500 litres on the feed trough, and it would just take it from the grain hopper as and when it needed. The downside to that was I can't fill it from the auger because it's not connected to the forks on the skid steer when I tried it. So there's no way of actually filling it from the actual the auger to get any from the grain bin. So I'd have to unload it into a bucket and then tip the bucket into that, which is a little bit annoying, but it may be an option to use. So if we go tools, I've got the toolbox mod from Schultz Modding, which for now I'm just going to put down inside the doorway. This is one you can actually pick up and move around, but it'll always respawn back here when you load the game. So we'll get that repaired, which is going to cost us $564. I'm not using any repair mods, so I'm not using any mods to reduce the repair costs or reduce how often they get repaired. So this is complete base game repair costs. There we go, that's a lot better. A lot less black smoke kicking out of that now. So that's that tractor repaired as well. I say, so that is a handy little mod, the toolbox, because I say we can pick it up, put it on the back of the pickup and drive to a vehicle if need be. So like when the tree harvester needs maintenance, we won't have to bring it back here. We can just take the toolbox to it. So we've still got $44,021. So the next thing I want to do actually is over by the sheep, and we can get rid of those log stores now because I don't think I'm going to use them. I think I'm going to stick to how we did the last lot, where I just cut the tree up and then picked it back up and put it straight into the container. And that did work reasonably well, so, and we've still got them. We can always buy them again in the future if need be. So what I want to put over here is next to the sheep. Just want to get a small shed. I'll probably use this one from Happy Mall, which is only $900. Don't come too close to the trigger for the wall, but if we can get it just there, it works reasonably well. I'll leave a slight gap, or should we come back as far as we can? I will go there. So I'm going to use this one to put the hay bales in, so they're right next to the sheep. And then if we do get another one of these pastures next to this one in the future, it's kind of in between the two. So it shouldn't affect anything on this side. So I'll just leave a small gap between where the animal dialogue box is. So we'll just increase the dirt texture as well in front of there a little bit. So eventually I want to completely paint all this and retexture it, and I'll sort out around here as well. I would like to get a smaller auger as well for unloading the silos, because this one's better suited for loading. But now we can get the hay bales moved over. We jump in the skid steer, I think will be the best option. And I'll get all these hay bales put into that shed and in the shelter so they're out of the weather. Okay, so last 2 bales to put in the shed. And we can also use the part of that shed as well to store up the wall pallets. As we get full ones, we can move them out the way to clear the spawn area and put them in that shed, ready for when we get the best price for them. So there's still plenty more space in there as well for some hay bales if we need any more, but I think at the moment that should be plenty of hay bales to keep us going, or keep the sheep going at least. I think we'll still have plenty of these left by the time the new grass field is ready for its first cut. Once we've got that sown in March, just give those a little nudge in. Just straighten that up a little bit. And there we go, that should do. I'll just pull that one out. It's one of those things. Leave it, stop messing. Oh, there we go. So that's all the hay under cover and out the way. Now we do have our first wall pallets being produced now. So we've got 299 litres currently. Now the sheep are now up to 100% health. I say, yeah, 25 in there, so we'll leave those to reproduce, but possibly when we do get to 100 we'll have cleared that bit more space, and then we'll get a second pasture. I say move the new births over, or the last 25 new births, so the youngest 25 into the new pasture, and then when the next 25 we'll move those over to the new pasture, and then keep doing that. And I think then we'll get to a point where every so often then we'll probably take some of the younger ones to sell, just to keep a bit of free space. So we'll probably keep the young ones until the next 25 are close to being their reproduction point, and then we'll sell the youngest 25 from the pen to free up space for the new births, and then keep that rolling cycle. Right, so that's that job done. The hay's out the way. Next job, I want to get this other shed built so we can get the combine put away and the header, because at the moment those are being left out to the elements. And as I mentioned previously in one of the earlier episodes, I did clear a few trees from this space to fit another shed in. So we'll put that in now. Then we go into build mode, and it should be big enough. So the shed I'm going to build is the same one I used on Silver and Forest, which was the Quonset. If I can find it, I think it gone past it. I'm sure it was only 20,000. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. 25,000. So this is the North American Shed Pack by BC Bueller Serious Mods. There's 2 options. One's got doors on both ends. You can have it as a drive through. This one's just got door on the one end, which I think is the one I'm going to use. I don't really have any intention of using it as a drive through. So just make sure that's straight. I want to come back a little bit off that track. Yeah, probably bring it forward a little bit. I think we'll go there. That's 25,000. And we'll just tidy up the landscape in front of it a little bit. Access to that door. Alright, there we go. We've now got a shed to store our combine in. We'll get these doors opened up and we'll get the combine over, get that put away. At least we get this out the snow. It's stored away until it's needed again for the next harvest. Now this is a decent sized shed as well, so we'll be able to fit quite a bit of equipment in here. Might need to get rid of that bush though. It's just clipping through the side of the building. I'm going to sort that out afterwards. So we'll get the header put in there as well. So that's out of the elements. Now we'll probably have to get the seed drill and the rollers and some of the other stuff, because we can put those in front of the combine We're not going to need the combine for a few months yet. We'll get that put next to the harvester. We might actually be able to squeeze the rollers down the side of there, just so they're out the way. And then we'll get the seed drill put in front of that. We're not going to need the rollers until after we've used the seed drill next. And that tidies up our equipment a little bit as well, because we're not going to have so much stuff sitting around outside. Right, so the rollers can go there. So we'll just get the seed drill put in, and then I don't think we'll fit the rake in. Can get the TED out, can go in the other shed because it fits in there. That can go in the other shed with the baler. I think it's more the seed drill that won't fit in that one, obviously, because it's a little bit too wide. Get our cover closed as well because all our fertiliser is getting wet. Just drop this one over, so just putting it in front of the combine because we're not going to need the combine anytime soon. That's got some of our equipment out the way, as I tidied up the area a little bit. So I think next job, as we're still down to 18,000, is I'm really considering. I don't normally do horses. Do find horses are a bit of a waste of time in FS22, but it would be nice to give them a go and get some in, as I think they'll fit in well with this kind of build we're doing in this area at least. You know, we've got the sheep, getting some horses as well. We don't have any straw for bedding, so I was considering keeping the oats for feed, but then I thought, well, we've got no straw anyway, so we're not going to be able to benefit from getting their health up with no straw. So I'm considering possibly doing horses, or even if it's only just a couple, keep them until they get to the reproductive age, and then they can reproduce, and then we can sell the offspring off every so often, make some money that way. So what we really need to do is then get another field in so we can plant some oats for the next harvest. As I say, to the left of where the sheep pasture is, I want to potentially use that area for another sheep pasture, and then extend those pastures out a little bit, and just to give them a little bit more room in there so they don't look as small. So thinking more we carry on clearing this area by the shed and open up a decent space there so we can get another field in. So probably from where the shed we built here earlier, so from somewhere around here, going to the left and working our way across this way, just open up another area, then we can say get another field ploughed in for the spring. Just trying to think, actually, before we start cutting trees we're going to need to go and get another container. So yeah, I'll head up to the store, I'll get another 30-foot container, and then we can start getting some trees cut. Okay, so back from the store, we've got a 30-foot container on the back of the trailer. Get this parked up here. While we were driving up there as well, the snow's completely covered the ground now. We've got our equipment inside and the bales inside just in time. Though they're left outside a little bit too long, to be fair. But yeah, we'll do 9 meters, which I think it should still be set to from last time. Yep. So we'll do the same as last time. I'll cut the tree, drop it in front of the container, cut it into the 9 meter lengths, and just pick them up and put them in individually. I think that's much easier way of doing it. There's probably still not the best. What I'd love to do is get a second one of these with the log grab on, or the grab on, so then I can just put stacks around everywhere and pick up a good bunch of them, and then just load them into the container like 5-6 logs at a time. So I'll do the same. I'll keep the short sections separate, keep those to one side, and just a case of then picking these up, which sometimes isn't easy to do, and I can tend to send the logs flying out everywhere, and it's also difficult as well to see exactly where the end of the log is compared to the container at times. Well, there we go. Yeah, so I'll fill this one. We'll get this sold. I don't know, it's difficult to tell exactly how much of an area we need to open up, how many trees we need to clear. It's one of those good things. Well, sometimes you can take out 2 or 3 trees on this map, and there's like quite a big area that's open behind them. So yeah, we'll just keep clearing until we've filled this container, and then see what kind of space we've got. But I think we're going to probably have to do at least this container and possibly another 2 to open up a decent area. Okay, so we're almost full with this first container. There's probably one more tree, and we'll get this one sold, and so I'll buy another one and we'll get that one filled. I think, looking by how much we've cleared and to fill that one container, I think we may need well, we're gonna need at least 2, possibly even 3 more containers to get enough trees in to clear up a decent area. I may even possibly need even more than that. But so there's no rush to get the field created, because we can't plant it anyway until spring. So as long as we make a good dent in this area to open it up, ready for getting the new field in, then we can get it planted with oats in, I think it's, yeah, to be March as well. I think for oats is the earliest we can plant those. But the good thing as well is we're opening up an area for a new field. We're also going to be making money from selling the logs, which we can then put towards something else. I'm not sure what else yet. What I would really like to get is a semi-truck, and so we can pull this switch this trailer back over to the gooseneck configuration, and it'll be a lot quicker to transport the containers down to the store. And I think that one is full. If it's not full, it's going to be close enough. So we'll just get that switched off. This is slipping quite a bit in the snow. Just take a little bit to get going. So yeah, 33,000 litres in there, so we may have lost a little bit on that last tree, but probably wasn't going to be a huge amount. So we'll get this over to the sell everything container and get this sold. Now, one thing I would like to do as well at some point is put another track in that joins up with that road that goes down there. But until we own that bit of land, it's not something we can actually do. Okay, so first container of the day to be sold. I think this will be about 26, 27,000. Yeah, 26,510. So take away the, I think it's 4,850 for a 30-foot container. So it's around about 21,700-ish in total, which is not too bad. So we're up to 39,835, and I think one more container and we would actually be able to afford to buy the semi-truck. I think there's a cheap MACK, which is like an older style MACK, which we'll just have a quick look at. And under trucks, yeah, so we've got, it's 50,000. So we've got the MACK grain hauling pack by BC Bueller. So it's like an older style MACK truck, which I think 50,000 wouldn't be too bad. If we keep it completely standard, so we're not spending any more money on it. That is our cheapest option that I've got currently installed. So we're not far off being able to afford that. So I'm going to get another 30-foot container, which is 4,680 in total. So yeah, I'll get this one back to the farm. We'll get this one filled, and I probably will do another 2 or 3. Okay, so this is the second container, which should take us up above 50,000. I don't know if it's going to be enough to 61,854, so 26,698 for that one. So we're above the 50,000. So I'm going to buy the MACK truck. I think it's going to be a nice addition to the actual farm. It's going to help speed up driving down to the sell point. So we'll buy that, and then we can get another container as well. So we go trucks, and we'll go for the MACK 6x4. So the RS 700L by BC Bueller. I would like to change the design colour though, because it's not going to cost any extra. Or the main colour. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave it like that with the red on, because that looks quite nice. So we'll leave everything else as standard. I will take off the number plate though. As I say, the downside to this map, it's got the European number plates on. I'm doing a more American style thing, so it's going to cost us $50,200 for that. But I think this is really going to be a useful piece of kit for the farm, and that's then eventually going to allow us to probably get a proper forestry trailer, where we'll be able to haul even more than we can fit in the containers. So the cheapest one I've currently got installed is this one by FSG Modding, which got 2 options: a dual bunk for longer logs and then a quad bunk. Yeah, I might have to have a look, see if there's any other ones. I've got the pole trailer from Gamer Designs, logger from Farm Sim World, which is getting a little bit more expensive. It did give us a lot more options now with what trailers we can get. So what we need to do as well is reconfigure this one. So customize, we'll change this so it's a gooseneck, which I think I'll pull a lot better on this. And ramps we can keep. I think the length, I don't think there's going to be any benefit to increasing it, because there's no way we can fit, even on the 50-foot, we can't fit 2 20-foot containers on the 50-foot. It just doesn't work. So we'll leave that at the 30. Take that off as well, because I forgot there's a license plate on there. I think everything else we'll leave as standard, so we'll customize that. So we can take the tractor back on the back of it now. So yeah, we'll get this back to the farm. I was going to buy another container, but I'm not going to fit the container on the tractor on. So mainly the tractor down here, and I'll get another container, get that filled up, and then we can have a look, see how much of an area we've got cleared for another field. But there is our new Mack truck, our new addition to the farm. Looks very nice. Okay, so I'm back with another full container. This is this will be the third one I've sold since I last spoke to you. So we're up to 51,370, and there's another $26,963, taking us up to 78,334. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop this trailer off. I'm going to buy 2 new trailers and 2 more 9-foot containers, and then I'm going to get those both filled and get those sold today as well. So I've had a good look around Mod Hub, and I've managed to find 2 trailers that we can fit 30-foot containers on, and they are 2 separate trailers, but we can hook them up together, and I think they are under actual trailers themselves. And yeah, it's these ones by MACK Trucker 921, so we need the 30-foot. I'm going to go with the auto load square baler. Not that it really matters, because I won't be really using it for bales. And the good thing about this is we can put a rear hitch on it as well and get rid of the ramps. So we want the flatbed configuration. We don't want a fertilizer spreader. There's tipper trailers. There's different options: liquid slurry spreader tank, livestock trailer. But we want to just keep it as the flatbed. So standard flatbed trailer. Ramps, we don't want deck type. We'll go with the steel deck. And hitch and configuration, we want the gooseneck frame with rear hitch. So gooseneck with rear hitch ball for this one. So we've got the rear hitch on the back. There's also pin hitch as well, which actually I'm not sure which. I'm not sure which hitch we'd actually need. I think pin hitch is the one we need. I'll keep the colours. I'm going to get rid of the license plate because we don't want that. So that'll be 19,850 for that one. So we'll buy that. And then what we'll do, we'll change that to, yeah, it looks like pin hitch on there, I think, on that attachment. So we'll go with flat frame. We'll keep the pin hitch on the back of this one as well. So we do have the potential to possibly add a third one, which I don't think we'll need, but we'll keep the rest of that the same. So that's another 18,350. So we'll buy that one, and then we'll get another 2 30-foot containers. Go in the red, get 2 of those. Okay, so we've got the two new trailers, 2 new containers on the back. So the good thing about these is we don't have to lift one container off to fill it. We can just disconnect the trailer, open the doors, fill the one, and then fill the other one. So we're not having to take containers off like we would if there was on one trailer. And also we've got the hitch on the back of this one, so potentially we could get a third trailer. But there's our new log transport set up for now. So we're back down to 30,774, but with both these containers filled, I should be around about another $53,000. So that'll take us back up to 83. So we'll go and get these filled and get these sold, and I think that'll probably do us for today. Okay, so back down at the farm, as you can see, I've cleared a decent sized area now. I'm going to continue clearing from this side and working our way back a little bit, so going over that way. So we'll drop both containers off. We'll drop the rear trailer off somewhere around about there, and then I'll probably put this one a little bit further over this way. That one trailer does kick up every now and then when you turn. It does kick off to the one side, but it does lower back down. It's just as you turn it, the wheels lift up on the one side for some reason. So get that one opened up. And we'll get the doors open on this one as well. And we'll go and jump back in the tree harvester and get some more trees cut down. Okay, so this should be the last tree we need to cut down. That should fill the second container. So we can then get those up to the cellar-front container and get them sold. And that should then mean we've got quite a nice big area here to get a field in. So what I'm possibly thinking of doing is skipping through February and coming back in March for the next episode. So we can get the grass sown, get this new field created in this area, get that lime spread, and get the oats planted in that one. If we can, I'm pretty sure it's March we can sow oats. March, April for the oats, and then once that's done, we'll have a look, possibly seeing what else we can do. How long that'll take. So yeah, I think that'll be the plan for next time, so we can get some field work done. I think we also need to spray the barley field. I can't remember what crop we'd put in the first field. That needs its second application of fertilizer. I'm just going to park this off up here. We'll get these containers up over to the store, and we'll get these sold. Okay, so let's get these 2 containers sold. Our first double container trailer set up. So I think we could possibly get 3, 4, but I think it may get a little bit difficult to start transporting them around if we get more than that. So 26,980 for the first one, and then another 26,824. So that takes up to 84,580 to finish with for today. So I'm going to switch over to the other trailer. I'm going to keep hold of this, the other trailer, because it's got the ramps on. We can use it for transporting equipment, just regularly loading up bales and pallets as well. And it's also got the option to put the log poles on the side, so then we can use it for the shorter offcuts that we've got stacked up. So I'm going to get the International loaded up on here and get this back to the farm. But for this episode, we'll leave it there for today. So hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. I'm just trying to work out now how to get the ramps down. There we go. Yeah, if you have enjoyed it, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, then please do consider subscribing. I've got more Farm Simulator 22 content coming up with this series, and also the live streams as well. Maybe a few other videos on FS as well from time to time. So yeah, I'm going to get this back to the farm. I'll probably come back and get the other trailers and 2 more 30-foot containers loaded on those, ready for next time. So again, a big thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.